Hello everyone. Hello and welcome to the Compass seminar on climate neutral and smart cities. I'll give you a moment to recollect. I think we're all excited that the weather is good in Seville at least. So my name is Erica Romero. I'm the Innovation Hub Officer of the Innovation Hub in Energy, Transport, Mobility and Smart Cities that is hosted here at the University of Seville. Today's seminar will include 4 presentations on experts on the topics of smart cities, energy and transport mobility. And each presentation will be about 15 minutes. I will try to ask a question after each presentation, and when they are all finished, then you can ask a question yourselves. If you want, you just raise your hand and there's a microphone that will be provided. They are also watching us from home, some people, so welcome to you too. It's being streamed via YouTube, and they might ask questions there too, that I'll try to get to you. This roundtable is part of the Compass project. The Compass project was explained before, but basically it's a Horizon 2020 project that supports the research and innovation part of Ulysseus to become a flagship and excellence in this sense. This is, I believe, the 6th webinar, specialized webinar on Compass. Well, the innovation hubs have been explained before, but for those that have been watching from home, Ulysseus has an ecosystem formed of 6 different innovation hubs that try to tackle specific regional challenges. These are artificial intelligence in Hagahelia in Finland, digitalization in Tuke in Slovakia, biotech and circular economy in MCI Austria. In Unige, Genova, we have tourism, arts and heritage. In Côte d'Azur, we have aging and well-being. And lastly, here in Seville, we have energy, transport, mobility and smart cities. Well, the scope of our innovation hub basically is to provide smart energy and production and storage towards the cities of the future. This can be done through different types of collaboration with the Helix that was mentioned before. So this includes researchers, but it also includes companies, it includes the students, we want to include also the citizens in this process, and many research activities will come up from this, also other types of collaboration, academics. We are working on different joint and double degrees as well, so we hope that the innovation hubs are getting very far and very fast. Now, what is the inspiration behind the seminar for today? Well, it's the EU mission 100 Climate Neutral and Smart Cities. These EU missions are a novelty of the Horizon Europe program. And the EU mission of 100 climate neutral and smart cities is serving as an inspiration, since we also believe that cities play a key role in achieving climate neutrality by 2050 in the whole of Europe, not only in these 100 cities, as the European Green Deal establishes. And even though only 4% of the EU land are cities, actually 75% of the people of the EU live in cities. 63% of the energy consumption in the EU is actually in cities, of course, it makes sense. And the same goes with CO2 emissions. That is 70% of the CO2 emissions in Europe come out of cities. So by tackling this very specific scenario, we can also have the benefits of having lovable and livable cities, and with less pollution. Our energy bills hopefully will be not so high. I think everyone can relate to that now. And yes, that's why we think it's important. Then the mission has 2 objectives. The EU mission is to deliver 100 climate neutral and smart cities by 2030. And to ensure that these selected 100 cities act as experimentation and innovation hubs, precisely, to allow that the rest of the cities in Europe can achieve these goals by 2050. It's for sure, it's an ambitious goal, but let's see how it goes. The European Commission has already selected the 100 cities that will be serving as these experimentation hubs. We are lucky enough to have 3 of the Ulysseus cities inside of these 100 selected ones. We have Helsinki in Finland, Košice in Slovakia, and of course Seville in Spain. And we are also very lucky to count on 4 experts today that will be presenting initiatives and projects that they already have ongoing related to the future of climate neutral and smart cities. Firstly, we have Ricardo Chacartegui Ramirez. He's professor of the Energy Engineering Department here at the University of Seville. We have Blanca Gomez Dominguez. She's Innovation and Project Officer at Cartuja Science and Technology Park in Seville. Maros Halama, he's Vice Dean for Research, Innovation and International Relations at the Technical University of Košice. And we have also Begoña Arrue. She's a professor too at the Department of Systems Engineering and Automation Department at the University of Seville. So without further ado, I would like to give the floor to Ricardo Chacartegui so he can present all of his very interesting projects. Please come here.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Ricardo Chacartegui from the Energy Engineering Department of the University of Seville. Well, and I'm going to present some of the projects that we have developed linked to the activities related to this framework. First of all, thank you very much to Ulysseus project, all the organizers for inviting me. So it's a great opportunity, this project, for advancing, developing new activities, new projects together with members of the consortium. Well, a brief presentation of my group. Well, the Energy System and Material Group is a multidisciplinary group with a broad background, mechanical engineer, physicists, architects, chemists, and from different departments, different faculties and schools. Summarizing very much, our main research lines are related to energy storage, materials for energy, and low carbon economy solutions. This is very broad, but I will show some specific lines. The time is very reduced. Please ask me later if you're interested in other ones. Related to the challenges for sustainable cities, well, they require multidisciplinary approaches, and they have many challenges. I will show now some of them that we have seen, a few of them that we have dealt within the project that we have developed in this period. They are related to energy efficiency, sustainable transport, air quality, citizen behavior, or energy storage. And these are the projects I will show very, very in brief. Well, related to energy storage, recently we finished this project in which we use it calcium carbonate, one of the most abundant materials in the earth, to decompose it in calcium oxide and CO2, and energy was stored in the chemical bonds. When heat was required, we mix it then again to deliver high temperature heat. We finished it by the end of the last year, and we made the first big demonstrator of this technology. Now we have reached at technology readiness level 5, and now we are looking for new opportunities and see who is going to advance to higher TRL. But we are very proud of the demonstrator that we have here in the facilities of the General Services of the University of Seville. Regarding the sustainable transport, I selected this project. I will talk later of it because it's quite visual. I can give an idea of our contribution to it. And in this project, this is an Interreg-Med project, regenerating mixed-use Mediterranean urban communities congested by traffic through innovative low-carbon solutions. And in this one, we base it in 3 different pillars that they were related to participative approaches, in which participative of the stakeholders, all the stakeholders affected by, developing soft, sustainable mobility solutions, and finally developing an integrated model tool that it was developed by my group and by the group of electronics, and with the idea of improved citizens' quality of life. Later I will talk about this, but we have 4 pilot zones in Greece, in Croatia, in Italy, and Portugal, and related to this, we have 2 cities in which some very congested roads were modified to improve the pollution, to improve the quality of life citizens, and in other 2 soft actions were taken for improving the characteristics. Well, I will talk later about this, so I will pass it. Other project that also related to the subject that we have here today is the Clean Act project that is an European Interreg SUDOE, the southwest of Europe. And the Clean Act project is acting for the transition to a low carbon economy in school. In this one, we developed specific methodologies, tools for improving the carbon footprint of the schools. We make sustainable solutions for them, strategies for management, and business models, educational tools, gaming. It was implemented in 35 pilot schools. Just to give you an idea of the participation.
Promover a transição para uma economia de baixo carbono nas escolas.
This project was awarded by the European Sustainability Award in
as
2019.
alterações climáticas.
Climate combines environmental research and educational approaches to facilitate the integration of sustainable development in curricula.
And I bring it because it's a multidisciplinary approach that can be an example for being
Le projet Climax a permis de réaliser des audits environnementaux dans 39 écoles pilotes, audits dans lesquels on s'est intéressé aux consommations énergétiques et d'eau des écoles, mais également à la qualité de l'air intérieur, à la gestion des déchets, ainsi qu'au transport du domicile à l'école et à la gestion des espaces verts et des approvisionnements des écoles.
O Climat desenvolveu um conjunto de ferramentas que permite às escolas monitorizar e analisar os seus consumos energéticos. Essas ferramentas permitem também às escolas otimizar soluções ecológicas e energeticamente eficientes, baseadas sempre na relação custo-benefício.
El desarrollo de metodologías que internalizan los costes ambientales, de seguridad y de salud a lo largo del ciclo de vida de las escuelas han permitido encontrar soluciones más sostenibles para cada una de ellas.
Los planes de acción se desarrollaron en las escuelas, implementados por la comunidad escolar y por el equipo de Clean Act. Los mismos suponían imponer cambios en el diseño, en la gestión y en los hábitos.
Well, I will just put in this as an example as potential activities to be developed within the Ulysseus framework. This was very transversal. There were people developing technologies, people social science, people from economy, management. And here I have several projects more related to energy materials for pollutant controls, controlling the emissions, developing new ceramic materials, new strategies of combustion in biomass boilers, or also developing new technologies of ceramic materials for diesel particles. This was the beginning of the activities I'm doing. I like very much this project because it was the beginning of this very transdisciplinary relationship, collaborative. Now, all of these are already finished. Now we are developing a project for renewable hydrogen production, developing new proton-conducting ceramics, so very specific. And currently also we are more general, we are developing now a carbon footprint evaluation in an Interreg method, a weaker method, that we use the tool for assessing the carbon footprint of the projects, of European projects. So we will finish relatively soon. We also a very transversal approach. This is an Horizon 2020, a Green Deal project that we are also participating, in which we are developing or analyzing the European competence framework for a low carbon economy and sustainability through education, through a co-design, test, engage, and of the European competences, environmental competences framework, and empower the broader educational community. It's a big project, and we have 3 years ahead with this. We will finish in 2024, and also it's a good opportunity to collaborate with different partners here within the Ulysseus. And finally, very recently, I've been granted with this one CO2-based electrothermal energy and geological storage system that is on Horizon Europe. We are still signing the grant agreement, and it's also related to energy storage. To focus in one, there are more, but I just focus on those related to challenges for sustainable cities. I will focus to the one related to transport, sustainable transport, to show that these projects, they have an impact on our environment. We, from the University of Seville, developed an online novel integrated modeling tool for making decisions about mobility, different modules, energy, noise, pollutant dispersion. We were, at the beginning, we were responsible of these two, but finally we were flexible and we adapted to integrate all of them. It has a structure, and it was oriented, well, and it was able to produce different results regarding fuel consumption, noise, dispersion around the surroundings, or effects of different actions. And also, it allowed to introduce different soft actions for them. It was oriented for technicians of the municipalities that want to, without having deep knowledge, being able to assess what, for instance, to change the timing of the traffic or to introduce new bus lanes or whatever. It was implemented in these 4 pilot zones: Treviso, Thessaloniki, Loures. Treviso is close to Venezia, Thessaloniki at the north of Greece, northeast. Loures is next to Lisbon, and Split is in Croatia. And some along the project, for instance, using the IMT and testing, the solutions were achieved. For instance, this is the Moscavide Street before the project and how it was modified after the project. Soft sustainable mobility solutions were proposed and implemented. It passed from 2 road lanes to 1, and it was measured a reduction of the 15% of the traffic, also a reduction of 8% of emission of particles. In Split, different bike sharing systems were implemented. They hadn't before, and it was the start of it. It has a good acceptance for the public. Also, previously, the acceptance of the citizens was very high in Loures. In Thessaloniki, a very high participative system. I'm not going to show it here, but you can find in internet a bus driver in this street evading with many obstacles advancing. So after a participative approach with with the municipality, with the technicians, with citizens, with different users, it was proposed this redesign. So it has also an impact, very relevant. More than 1 million of travels, this is a very long road, have per day in this street. We studied different scenarios showing relevant potential for reduction of fuel consumption, emission, distribution of contaminants, and depends on the scenario, different characteristics can be positive or negative depending on the different actions. Finally, in Treviso, it was the leader. It was studied to change traffic lights for roundabouts, and also including, it's a very long street also, to include bike services. Also with a very participative approach with in schools, mobility for them, the different associations the results that were obtained were relatively predicted by the model, and they started to implement them, were very high reductions regarding fuel consumption, emissions, and pollutants, and the effect of dispersion of them. So they are related directly with the mortality and health issues. To finalize, to show only focusing in this specific project, we make with different experts of different disciplines a tool, integrating them, using with a lot of assumptions, but also accessible and friendly for non-specialized users that must take decisions. And its use was finally give some solutions that some of them were selected to be implemented, and they have a positive impact. We used a collective intelligence to have a transferability, a transfer of our results to the society, and this is a very good thing, and we are very happy because of that. Well, and that's all. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Before you leave, Ricardo, just a short question before you leave.
Oh, yes, please.
You have many active and successful projects, it seems, no? I'm quite sure that you have. Do you know, can you think of any other potential collaboratory lines for other universities to collaborate with you? Ulysseus universities, maybe?
Sure. Thank you. Yes, we started to collaborate. The first project I presented of field biodiesel, the beginning was having a coffee with a colleague who was in science material. I'm engineer, energy engineering. I'm talking, what do you work, what do you do? I make this. It can be applied to diesel filters. I work in engines. Part of my work was in that time. So the first thing to collaborate, or I see the opportunities, is to talk. Identify. I always flexible and I'm able to collaborate, and I think that it's the same thing for most of the researchers. There are many opportunities, and at this moment, multidisciplinarity, there is economics of energy, there is law of energy, there is electronics of energy, there is automation or control of energy. There are systems, there are materials. So I think that the first thing is to identify which is the wing that one can have participate in proposing something, the wing that you can provide to someone, and to talk. But I think that most of the people of my surroundings, of the engineering school or the University of Seville is fully open to collaborate. So it's my feeling. Thank you.
Today is a good day to collaborate and talk. Okay, now Blanca Gomez, please, if you could present your project.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank you, the Ulysseus team, to invite me to present the Cartuja Canat project. First, the Cartuja Canat project is an innovative and transformative urban development project in a space located in the Science and Technology Park Cartuja in the Avenue Thomas Alva Edison. The objective of the project is to make the open-air areas, spaces, much more comfortable for the citizens and recover the street life. The project is co-financed by the Urban Innovative Actions Initiative, and the project has a budget of €5 million. The consortia is led by the Seville City Council, the Water Management Public Company of Seville, the Macesa, the Urban Planning Department of Seville, the STP Cartuja, the University of Seville, which has in the Science and Technology Park Cartuja 2 centers, the Engineering School and the Communication Faculty. The Engineering School is who is involved in the project. CSIC is the Spanish National Research Council, and Innovarsilla is a private technology center. Well, we have 3 key goals. The first one is the technical one, led by the University of Seville. which try to recover bioclimatic solutions developed in the Universal Exhibition 1992 in the Cartuja Island, where the STP Cartuja is located, and reinvent it and make these solutions more efficient. So we have took the amphitheater and already existing infrastructure in the STP Cartuja, and we are building a new space, an open-air square in the STP Cartuja, the Souk. The second line of work is to develop in the Thomas Alva Edison Avenue a showroom for startups in order to pilot and test their projects and technologies. All the startups are focused on climate change solutions. And the third one is transversal line of work is to develop a new governance model collaborating public and private entities and involving all the actors involved in the street life, students, startups, SMEs, corporates, employees, and regular citizens. We have asked to the potential users, to the students, to the workers, what kind of uses they want to have there in the Thomas Alva Edison Avenue. One of these is the leisure activities, just to rest in between the work day or in between classes. Of course, because of the lockdown of COVID-19, one of the uses could be open-air classes from the university, both engineering school or communication faculty, to make conferences, and the showroom. Well, this is, now I'm going to explain why this project is being developed in the Science and Technology Park Cartuja. This is a map of the island, the STP Cartuja. It's an island. We have a limited environment. We control the exits and entries of the cars. We control the electricity and so on. So it's the perfect space to pilot new disruptive technologies for smart cities. Those are the main figures of the park to make you have an idea of what kind of park. We are an urban lab, is very close to the city, just 10 minutes walking. We are the biggest technology park of Andalusia with 3 billion euro of economic activity, more than 500 companies, and more than 23,000 employees, plus more than 10,000 students from the different faculties and schools. Well, this is a photograph of the park. I have put here a signal to see where is the Thomas Alva Edison Avenue, where we are working on. And this is the map. You can see here the amphitheater, that is an old infrastructure built for the Universal Exhibition, and the Souk. The Souk is the new, I have here. So. This is the Souk, the new one, and the amphitheater. Okay. Well, this is one of the work package of my colleagues from the University of Seville, so it's quite challenging to explain. They are developing some strategies in this space in order to bring the temperature down 10 degrees centigrade. They have taken this this infrastructure and an ancient technique, the canat. The canat is an underground hydrological infrastructure that that cool the air through the water, and then the cooled air comes out to the space. You can see here how the cooled air comes to the space to make it much more comfortable. And here is how it works in the souk. Well, and the second one key goal was the showroom. We are developing an incubation program for sustainable startups. The mission of the program is to assess the startups, grow and pilot their projects. We have already chosen 10 startups. In April, we launched a call for startups, and we received several projects, several proposals from around Spain. You can see here the sectors of the startups. They are focused on air quality, water management, urban mobility, and energy transition. The objective is we provide entrepreneurs with a space for them to pilot their technologies and projects, and also to give them the opportunity to develop an MVP, a minimum viable product, with a real customers, the students and employees of the STP Cartuja. This is all this through training, mentoring, and support. These are the 10 startups selected, and those are the sectors. 3 startups are working on energy efficiency, other 3 on urban mobility, 2 on water management, 1 startup is focused on air quality, and another on circular economy. We are starting the training sessions with the startups this month in June. We will finish in October. And well, that's all. Thank you for your attention, and it will be a pleasure to answer any question you have.
Thank you, Blanca. A short question. Do you know of any other initiatives following the idea behind the 100 cities that serve as a platform as a lab for smart cities? Do you know of any other initiatives that are taking place for testing smart cities inside of the tech, Andalusia Tech? Well, it's not Andalusia Tech. It's the tech park, no?
Yeah.
The technological park.
Yeah, we are working on a very interesting and pioneer initiative, ACT Seville. This is a public-private partnership led by the regional government of Andalusia with the Sevilla City Hall, the STP Cartuja, and the private company Endesa. The objective is to make the STP Cartuja zero emissions space in 2025, in 3 years. It's challenging. And the methodology is involving all the actors of the park, the companies hosted in the park. So far, 70 companies have already joined to the project. Right now is taking place the first assembly of the ECT project with all the partners, and they are all working together to develop new solutions to make the park zero emissions, but the objective is to make these solutions replicable to other parts of the city and, of course, in other cities.
Okay, thank you. Great to hear. Maros Halama, please.
So thank you for invitation, especially for Erika and Elena, who are coordinating this Energy Hub. And I would like to share with you some project which is ongoing in Technical University of Košice, especially in Faculty of Materials, Metallurgy and Recycling, but together with our industrial partners and Academy of Science and many, many more, also on regional and national level and European level. So I would like, the motto of this energy session is linked with climate ambition, but maybe I add one more, because now we know what's happening very close to the Košice on Ukraine, and there is also demand of energy security. So let's talk about also in this position, because we need to make more effort on this, or double, triple effort on clean tech, smart tech, let's say, about clean tech, not green tech, on regional and European level. So maybe some of you take part of a kick-off meeting in Košice in April, I think. Now Košice is seems like applied science city, because there is in walking distance a lot of institutions, a lot of research institution, let's say. There is a Slovak Academy of Science, several institute. We have Technical University of Košice, we have another University of Natural Science, and also University of Veterinary Medicine and Pharmaceutical in Košice, very close on walking distance. Of course, we have now University Science Park working on this commercialization of research activities, like Technicom, Medipark, and some others are creating now. And we have really strong and strategic industrial partners around the Košice, like US Steel and IT Valley now. That's why Digital Hub is in Košice. And you know, Košice about Peace Marathon was main culture city, European city of sport, and many others. But regarding history in education, we also go into 1657 with University Kasoviensis. So maybe what you don't know, we have a research center for advanced materials and technologies, where I serve as a broker. So this is just new infrastructure, relatively new infrastructure with more than 39 labs, only for material characterization. So we have some nice equipment, like focus on beam microscopy to characterize in nanoscale materials, and a nanospider, which is very efficient device to create, for example, new nanotechnological metallic textile materials, also serve for later for green tech, clean tech, like hydrogen technology, so new kind of electrolyzer with cheaper material, and so on. So a lot of research running across universities and Academy of Science in Košice, together with the support of industrial partners. So this is really helping, and maybe next time you will be in Košice, we visit also this Promatics Center. Because this is a research and innovations days, or research and development days, I would like to start with one case study very shortly. You know, or also Ricardo mentioned pollutants in the atmosphere, particles, science matter. We started 10 years ago one project on prediction of atmospheric corrosion using artificial neural networks. So also we think 10 years ago with digitalization and application of AI in the material science sector. And here we obtained a really good result with international partners from University Ghent, Vienna University, with partner Slovenia, Czech Republic, and not the last Swedish partner from Stockholm, because they have a global database of pollutant values across the globe. Not only missing Ibero-American data, so global level. And the advantage here was that we apply neural network, because it works on when absence of exact mathematical characterization of system missing. When there is a presence of strong nonlinearity, so there is a complex physical-chemical processes which is not explained by traditional scientific method. And if you have a great database, robust enough, you are able to generalize, eliminate, and minimize error. So here, for example, we have used this data like temperature, relative humidity, and major pollutants like SO2, NOx, amount of rain and pH. And the output was a lifetime of materials. Yeah, so we have steel, copper, zinc, and aluminum this time. And if you have a look, it goes many years ago, like from 1970 it started. So we have database like 50 plus years regarding this data. So regarding climate changes now, let's say talk about temperature changes, pollutant changes. It's not like temperature rising, but it's changing continually. And these artificial networks could predict, so make some scenarios under changing environment in this. So this was a really good application because these neural networks allow you to make variable impact analysis. So you can make weight of your input parameter like SO2 or your pollutant or exposure time or temperature on your output. So here the lifetime of your construction, for example, on any metallic construction. So you see the color map of this interaction of inputs and output parameters, which is very strong tool. If I come back to the clean tech, we have now adopted hydrogen strategy in Košice region in 2019. It was supported by Joint Research Center in Brussels and was like mapping potential of hydrogen technologies across the sector. So it goes from production to storage, transport, metallurgy, nuclear chemical industry, but also battery, because we see here is not a concurrent technology. Is we need to synchronize and hypnate these two technologies. Also for fuel cell, you need batteries, of course. When we map research and innovation activities in Košice region, and of course we need to do some more in education activities to modernize, which also Ulysseus has in Seoul. So finally, to be visible, it needs to be visible for public, because when it's benefits for community. So I will talk more about this. You see, we apply already now. We have hydrogen bikes in Košice. It's just fresh. It's maybe 1 or 2 months are in Košice. So imagine you have a bike which can in a range go more than 150 kilometers, and the refueling is only 2 minutes, so it's very powerful for tourist action. If you have a lot of infrastructure regarding touristic pathways, you can apply. And there is some sci-fi scenario now, but I'm sure will be in few years, like urban mobility using hydrogen quadrocopter for sightseeing tours, for example. Yeah? So this was like a community action plan, but it's much more. Regarding hydrogen R&D project, last 2 years we have, especially on distribution and storage R&D activities, like interaction of hydrogen with odorants in gas distribution pipelines, testing homogeneity, influence of hydrogen on mechanical properties of components, for example, because this is a challenge. We now need to retrofit some existing infrastructure like pipelines for natural gas and transport partly hydrogen or pure hydrogen later on. So we working also on, or help working with industrial partners on European Common Interest project on future hydrogen backbone, for example, with our main strategic partner, Ustream. We need to cooperate on national level. So, for example, in communication with some ministries, we are in a strategic working group regarding Just Transition Fund. We prepare some innovation centers in Košice, Green and Digital Center, for example, is part of this, or Green Tech Learning Center in Košice self-governed region. And very important is to participate in working group across this value chain or platform in Europe, like Hydrogen Europe, Clean Hydrogen Partnerships, and I have a colleague here from Clean Aviation too. We have launched also or we was part 2 years of water management program, and here we launch one topic which is linked with hydrogen. So hydrogen and water management, because it's water security in the final state. But not talking only about research and development activities, we need to be active in science policy action, so prepare strategic research agenda. For example, in batteries is another key enabled technologies which is very fruitful to obtain this climatic ambition. So, you know, in automotive sector, what is going on in electrification. And Slovakia is one of the leaders in automotive sector, so we need also to transform this automotive sector for this more clean technologies. We are advisory members, some European project like Spartacus, or working on McKinsey company strategy study, where we compare battery electric vehicles versus fuel cell electric vehicles. So there is an foresight for 2030 and 2050 what's going on, will be in the automotive sector from the point of leaders like Toyota, Volvo, Daimler, and some other automotive companies. So this is very important because they invest now in technology of future. We have some running innovation project in Slovakia. Slovakia was really successful in the European Common Interest project in battery value chain. We have 4 companies like Inobat, ZTS, Dubnica, and some others working on innovative project together with European partners. And universities are a direct partner here. Yeah, so we need also to try to somehow hypnotize with education system transformation in this green tech activities. So this is a big challenge. We have a national project regarding preparation of new hybrid engineering in battery sector and in hydrogen technologies, where we would like to share or to implement also latest IT approaches, so Internet of Things with artificial intelligence, what I mentioned before, augmented reality, and so on, because we need to attract a young generation in material science, chemistry, physics, which is now in decrease regarding attractiveness for young generation. And of course we have Ulysseus Joint Master and PhD diploma working on co-creation group together with Seville and our partners. So this is Cobring, which was mentioned today. We have prepared 2 courses on our faculty, but there is much more from the perspective of technical university. One is European Strategy for Green Technologies, where course explores potential for green tech, clean tech, smart technologies like batteries, hydrogen, and it also contains safety of these technologies, education challenge, cross-cutting activities, but also ethical aspects here. So it is also important. And with my colleague Peter is also here, we prepare materials for green technologies, which is course only focusing on materials, composite, nanomaterials used in these batteries, hydrogen technologies, carbon capture, and there is also some nanomaterials used in decarbonization plants. This is new lab which opened at our faculty. Is a lab for research and innovation of batteries at our place. We have a strong industrial partners here, and part of this national project is also a mobile container laboratory, which has green or clean technologies. And here subtopics covered like advanced battery management system, materials for hydrogen technologies, and chemical analysis of water, also was mentioned by a previous speaker. Here, design is also very important, so we cooperate with Faculty of Arts, and we have a national artist, Mia Buňaková, who create this interactive facade, so design which has no marketing smoke and so on. So it is far away from our bench, but we need to be also attractive from this side. So here you can see industrial partners like Modern Technology System is an innovative company of a year in Slovakia, when we have a green tech, Innobad, maybe you know, activities, Innobad on an international level, and some other partners from abroad like Alvanche Group and Sol. We also work with think tank Globsec, with my colleague from Project Management Office, and we have launched, for example, strategies for Slovakia in low carbon economy, or perspective of automotive sector and automotive from the circularity point of view. So it's also important to work on. And there are some dissemination activities, but not only dissemination activities, because we take part on two panel discussion at Expo Dubai. One was with ministries and self-government region on support of Slovak region on the way to climate neutrality, so we directly focus on this event. And one was discussion together with ministries and industrial partners on Slovakian battery industry research and education and preparation of this new kind of hybrid engineers. And here there is, in Dubai is a reality, for example, a sustainable city which now has only 400 houses and works sustainable, so without any energy consumption and water. But they know that now it works, and they need to expand it 100 times bigger. They build now a city, so only photovoltaics and recovering water, and so everything works here only with renewable energies in Dubai. And the last, I will end with what I start, so with corrosion. We have one international project from September with Canadian partner. Canada is coordinator. Here is 20 plus partners around the globe. And it led to international corrosion training, so education of new kind of engineers with this budget like 1.6 million of Canadian dollars. And here the motto is that corrosion science is not just about this energy, transport, mobility, but and not for only techno nerds, but it's about chemistry, physics, biology, ethics, and environmentalism, because it could preserve to service resources on Earth, because corrosion is sometimes invisible. Right? So it's somehow linked with food safety, when with nickel allergy, for example, when copper aluminum falls corrode in contact with highly conductive aggressive electrolyte inside Li-ion batteries. Hydrogen embrittlement is a mechanisms of corrosion on materials. So all these are corrosion in this clean tech, green tech problem. So one of these is NEMA problem. Corrosion is an NEMA problem in batteries. So everyone needs to battery which is fully charged or fast charges, but also lifetime will be not like now for 3-4 years, but 10 years or plus. Yeah. So behind is corrosion problem. And we just launched a digital platform with partner Solved, which is very important because it's a modern digital platform to manage, to find expert on a project and to disseminate. So it's something like YouTube, Facebook, and some other social media in one, but from project management. So this is now used in the European Federation of Corrosion. We have started this year. So this is from my point of view, and I would like to invite you for event in November. It's a big conference, Energy Manifest, which is under auspices of Vice President Šefčovič, which is the father of Battery Alliance in Europe. So thank you for this kind invitation, and I hope success in cooperation in Ulysseus program.
Thank you very much. I think we'll pass directly to Begoña, and if there's time at the end, we'll have some questions also for you. No? Okay. Since we are short on time, thank you very much.
Good morning. Thank you very much for inviting me to be here. I just want to present something about intelligent aerial robotics for suitable human-robot interaction. First of all, I want to show you the people who I work. The leader of the group is Aníbal Ollero, and I work with 4 PhD students, and we work in different European projects like Aerial Core, piloting, High Flyers, Aerotrain, Terrinet, RIMA, and of course the advanced grant that Aníbal Ollero obtained about the name is Griffin. All of them we work in aerial robotics, and I want to focus a little bit on smart cities. First, the UAVs and the smart cities. The UAV has a local challenge that already some of them are being taken care, like navigation, control, and communications. The autonomy is very important, commitment between batteries and weight. Sensors, data acquisition, processing, and interpretation. Include safety in operation. The regulation is very important. The privacy of the people is very important, and the standardization and interoperability with the standard and data processing and exploitation systems. Therefore, the UAVs has a lot of applications, like transportation, can be independent or integration in a network of the city, security for civil, border and coast guard, emergency, the UAV can act in inaccessible areas and can be act in road accident too, in logistics, for example, in assistance to vessel, docking in harbors, in infrastructure, to inspection, security, maintenance and cleaning, in healthcare, for transportation of organs, street patrolling, defibrillation, and more applications, in energy sector and communication networks, like monitoring, distribution infrastructure, electricity grids, railway networks, and in environmental monitoring, of course, in agriculture, forestry and fisheries, crop dusting, resource optimization, and many others. Then what I try to introduce now is our goal is more or less aerial robotic system for its use in multiple environment and tasks, and focuses with a UAV and human interaction. Like in intelligent transportation tasks are very useful, and such as humanitarian aid, but the last mile delivery usually implies the interaction with the human. Then we need to implement intelligent functionalities, adaptive and multimodal soft technology applying to the UAVs, and embedding soft robotic technology in this platform enable to human interaction faster and efficient and compliant and safe. Then we start with a normal UAV, a commercial one. Then why not to put a hand to transport things, and why not to put a soft effector to help to adapt to different infrastructure that they can land and do inspection. And if I do an effector, why don't do a complete UAV? And then why don't use a bird, similar to a bird, this comes from the advanced grant, that I can transport perch and be close to the human with more security. Then, first of all, I would like to show you things like that. We just done, as a team, autonomous landing on charging station. We use a normal charging version. There are different ones. This is from Enel. Enel is a big company of energy in Spain. And we use this completely on the UAV, every on board, and we just land on different phases. First, detect the place to land, and then landing. Let me show you. We land on this is the University Seville outside, and we land too in a mobile platform over the water. And I want to show you just the 2 videos showing how it's going to, this is the UAV. Here is hand, a small isolator. I don't know if you can see in the video. And then later on, this is how it's landing over a mobile platform on the water, just to recharge batteries. This platform has 4 battery recharging. Okay? This I don't know if you see. This is going to, here is going to clean the isolator, and later on it's going to go and, as you want to show, it's going to land. I'm sorry to go, to don't be too fast, okay? Then we use the UAV2 to detect power line for inspection and maintenance using a line actuator platform with a real sense, and we do a preliminary test for installation of clip bird diverter, already the bird diverter that are allowed to use. Here we want to show power line detector inside of in our lab, and then how it's done outside, just to put how it's detecting the line and how it's going to put the bird diverter to clip on the line. Then I want to show you how using just the N effector, how can lamp, okay, over a pipe, and how can adapt, and at the same time can leave the N effector and leave. You can see here how adapt, and here how the UAV leaves the N effector. This can move around the pipe and can do inspection. Here you can see how it's going to detect the pipe and it's going to land. You see how it's in it, and then it's going to line like you see before. Then why not to do the complete UAV completely soft? This is done with a 3D printed inflexible filament, adaptable to the environment, ability to perch on pipe, its flexibility imply aeroelastic effect, and control challenge that will use with artificial intelligence or already the control. This is the UAV. Let me show you just a small video to understand a little bit the concept. Because it's flexible, you have to take care of the aerodynamic scan because this moves and has to adapt and how it's going to already land over the pipe and at the same time can close the arms and to adapt to the pipe and do inspection moving around the pipe. Okay. Then, why no? Why you want to use like anthropomorphic or pneumatic actuators, no? To use a human hand-based actuator using SMA muscle and tendon driving actuations, adaptable to multiple shapes and human tools, and has the capacity to get objects of 5 kilos. This is a similar hand, has SMAs. You can see here is put on a UAV. This can deliver and transport, and can transport to a human being to work and give, for example, some utility. At the same time, if you use a pneumatic actuator, can keep like 1 kilograms of weight, and this move with 1 bar of power. And you can see here how you can keep another kind of bird diverters that can be used on the power lines. Then this hand we developed by Spire claws. Why not? Inspired in an eagle claw, as you see here. We use a small SMA actuation, natural holding, and include the nails to guarantee a well grasping and adding sensitivity capabilities, okay, on the N effector. You see the strongness picking up, how can perch, and how it's done with different SMAs to adapt and don't hurt the human being. And at the same time, you can do the tail, include the wings, doing soft materials and soft actuators. Then with the Spire Cloud, you see can get different weights, how can transport, include can transport a mini drone to a place where you want to do inspection, and how you can take off. I think this is better to see on a video. How, okay, the various flight, we get on a, because the people on a, oh, yeah, no se acuerda. We attach to the top to don't suffer when fall down, just to see how it can deliver and can move around. I want to show you just to see, okay, how it's going to show a small drone to do any inspection. Is here, you see how go flying, and you can drop it on any fire or to do any inspection or things like that. And then how using a bird, how you can do landing and perching. You have a lot of mobility, how the normal bird do it. We could be biomimetic, and we try to use a predictive visual surveying to compensate the flapping motion with tracking the perching spot. You can see here how you see and control it or control it, the movement of the bird. Okay, you see how move, and we do a control. You see how you can already keep on track, already the point of view where the bird is going to land or perch. Then we use a test bed simulator. We use a simulator with Unreal, and we put everything on the bird, already to do the complete computing on real time on the bird. And this I want to show you on a video too, to see how this is to throw the bird. The bird is going to landing on the square root. And you are going to see two different views, okay? To see the trajectory, going to landing, and how it's going to do the spot, okay? And as a conclusion, is you do functionality like landing from battery recharging, like packing on delivery, is helping, no? You can help include the workers or any person who is working in dangerous places or high altitude. And if you do adaptive soft technology used with the UAVs, you can close by to these people. It will make them suitable to human interaction, making them faster and efficient, also compliant and safe. And this is all. Thank you for your attention. And
I think we can take 5 minutes for questions still, since we started a bit late. Does anyone have questions? There's a microphone here. You just lift up your hand. No? I had a couple still one for Begoña. I had written down, what was, in your opinion, the biggest challenge to integrate UAVs in smart cities?
Okay, there are too many challenges, as you already saw, but already the smart urban technology together with robotics and AI is growing up to react to a smart city very well. It's already doing a lot of improvement, but we are far away from reaching our complete potential. That has a lot of potential. All the communities, including Europe and all that, is pushing a lot and putting a lot of money on it. But one of the biggest challenges will be the last delivery, the human interaction. Okay, because it's very important, it's going to be necessary in emergency and things like that. But we think that using this soft technology as a multidisciplinary team, using materials and things like that, is growing up very fast with soft actuators and this. If you include this, can be less hard, and the human can work with them and be easy to transport things to help in emergency and many stuff, including inspection and maintenance and that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure.
And for Maros, I think I had a question before written down. Going back to the Hydrogen Plus strategy project that you have, I think in the action plan there were recommendations for Košice region to live with a decarbonized economy, or more like recommendations for that. Are there any that are applicable, in your opinion, to other cities or other regions? Or is it too specific for Košice?
Yeah, I think some of them is universal, of course, but it depends on local infrastructure. Yeah? So, for example, I have mentioned this hydrogen bikes. So, if this region has locality and infrastructure for tourist action like pathways, so when it's very easy to apply. But there are some challenges, like in urban mobility. For example, maybe in Košice is only for sightseeing tour with urban taxi, or based on hydrogen or fuel cell technology. But maybe in Madrid, Brussels, or other things, where there is a traffic jam, like you travel from airports more than 2 hours sometimes. So when only solution is like this urban mobility, but it needs, there is a lot of challenges on legislation level. So it's, I think, the question for interdisciplinary teams and also for local government, not only local government, but on national level and European level. So yeah, there is a lot of application. For example, for universities, like we are part of Ulysseus, we have an energy hub. we can make some project on sustainable dormitory, for example. Like we build a new container dormitories which collect rainwater to clean it into, or to make deionized water when this is as inputs to production of hydrogen for electrolyzer. And through a summer period you can storage it and later on use it in winter period, like in Slovakia or in Innsbruck or where it's too cold. Yeah, but here I think you have a different problem. You have plenty of sun and you need to export energy or storage energy to later use it. So yeah, it's I think it's a combination of these technologies on tailor-made focus. So this is my opinion.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And thank you for everyone that has been here and also on YouTube. And thank you especially to our speakers today, to our experts. And see you at the coffee. Thanks.